Yeah, they can almost see me too well. You know?
4K.
Yeah.
Don't want the 4K. Let's scale it down.
Yeah.
Or add
Don't
a
get
blur.
away with a dirty jeans in this.
So I'm good at photoshopping.
That's all right then.
Yeah, ready?
Going?
Yeah.
Go to the end of the road.
All the way to the end. Wait. Bang in. This is fun. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I'm with Joshua.
Hey.
Joshua's got his own YouTube channel and he does awesome mock test videos and driving hints and tips if you're learning to drive as well. His channel is here, right here. I'm going to magic it and do it in the edit. Check out his channel, it's also in the description, and you're going to learn loads. Don't learn anything on my channel, just have a laugh. We just fuck about.
Hopefully learn loads and have a laugh at the same time.
That's it, yes, okay. We learn loads and we have a laugh. Do you also give students help with theory and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I suggest an app. I normally suggest a 4-in-1 driving test success.
Yeah. It's much better than revising on. It used to be CD, didn't it? Or from the book, but that doesn't work anymore, does it? Because of the hazard perception.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. There's that, and there's also the fact that if people are anything like me, they're not academic. They don't want to read a book. This is the digital age. You know, everything's done on the phone.
Get your app out.
Yeah, get your app out. I mean, to be honest, the official one's right, but the 4-in-1 driving test success one, the main difference is that's got like 80 clips for the hazard perception, which, as you say, is a massive part of driving now.
It's half your test.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the official one's only got like 20 on there.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
it's the one I recommend as well. It's got games on it as well, and how to drive and what to do on your driving test. Loads of useful features. It's not just theory.
Really?
So, yeah.
Are the games any good?
The games are fun. I play them. Yeah. Like the how to remember your road signs. If you're struggling with how to remember your road signs, play the road signs game. It's like, do you ever play Flappy Bird?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like Flappy Bird, but with road signs in the way.
Really?
Yeah.
That's well cool.
Really good. Yeah, download the app. There's a link in the description box down below. If you need an app for your theory test, then that is the one to get.
That's awesome.
If you haven't passed your theory, get the Flappy Bird road signs kit.
The Flappy Bird. Can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. Cool. So what we're going to do, because Joshua can obviously drive, he's a driving instructor and he's awesome at it.
I don't know about that.
We're not going to do it like a traditional mock test. I'm going to mark him on my test report form, but we're also going to talk through the video and commentate to let you guys know what you need to do if you're taking your driving test. Today we're at Barking Driving Test Centre. Barking Test Centre. Probably what I think is the hardest, most horrible test centre in London that you can take your test at. Joshua's way from?
I'm from Stoke-on-Trent.
Stoke-on-Trent.
And I told you that I was already scared of coming to London and driving around London, and you brought me to the worst test centre you could find. I love it, that's great.
But we're going to learn loads, and if you find something difficult, then you can help to explain it to the guys at home so that they can find it easy.
Absolutely.
Lots of people take their tests at Barking. I've had a few tests at Barking, so this is one of the real test routes that one of my students took. Hopefully you guys can learn a lot. Stay tuned.
I was just going to say, I've never driven a Mercedes, so this is very exciting.
Okay.
Very exciting. Never driven a Mercedes, and I've obviously never driven this car, so you're going to have to...
I'll bear with you. If you do some weird stuff with the handbrake, I'll help you with that. Don't worry, because the handbrake's in the wrong place.
You're going to lean across, No,
it's this one. Yeah, no, I help you. I'll give you help with the car, because it's not your car, and I know that you aren't familiar with it.
I wish it was my car. Okay, then we're going to do the handbrake.
I should put on my seatbelt on, shouldn't I?
Am I going to reverse?
Yeah, you can use the camera as well there to help you get real close to that post.
You are far too trusting.
Yeah, cool, that'll do.
Yeah, cool, that'll do.
Okay, so Joshua's setting off now. He's doing awesome observations, which is really important. The driving test is just a test of safety, how safe you are at driving. So observations are a really big thing and a really big part of being safe. He did enough observations, but did you signal when you went out of that space there?
I teach that you don't need to signal unless there's someone to signal for.
What about anyone that could have been waiting in one of those parked
cars? Very true. You have me there.
Turn right.
I'll go to the end of the road.
All the way to the end, and then drop a right turn.
Yeah, I apologise, you did catch me out there. Doesn't the examiner let you off the first few minutes if you're particularly nervous?
Is that what they do in Stoke-on-Trent? They don't count the first 5 minutes?
Well...
Why do I test people in London?
No, they do.
Awesome, so we're picking up the sat nav now. We're just going to follow that for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes of independent driving is usually the first thing that you do on your test, either following a sat nav or following road signs. Nice smooth braking, awesome, good job.
Thank you very much. Keeping an eye on that middle mirror as well, changing speed or direction.
Brilliant.
Just getting used to it. Sorry if it's a bit rough with the clutch, as I say. Is this a diesel, is it?
It's not, it's petrol.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Does it feel like diesel?
Now you've just really knocked me. I don't drive petrol.
Oh no, you're used to the sturdy clutch of the diesel. So there is a massive difference between petrol and diesel
After
engines.
200 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the 4th exit.
Great, so this is a really hard roundabout. With a petrol car, it's much easier to stall them. With a diesel, it's much harder to stall them because there's so much more torque in the engine and power in the engine. So, hard roundabout here. If you come to Barking to do your driving test, I would recommend practicing these roundabouts a lot because there's a lot that can go wrong.
Go right on the roundabout and take the 4th exit.
I thought I wouldn't go inside the cycle lane.
Yeah, do you not have cycle boxes in?
We do,
Stoke?
but not quite as, I don't know, not as often.
Is this the first time you're driving in London?
First time I'm driving in London, yeah.
Wow.
I get the train to London if I ever come with a family or anything else sightseeing.
No way,
Yeah.
with the family as well, but then you don't have boot space, and when you pick up all of your London souvenirs, you can't take them back.
Well, we don't do that.
Like a big Houses of Parliament statue. Don't do that.
No.
Try not to be a tourist in your city.
Not too much.
Okay, so they're setting off from a set of traffic lights. Would have loved Joshua to do a left and right mirror check just in case there are any cyclists and motorbikes in London. It's a big thing. There's lots of cyclists everywhere. We are planning ahead now. What are you thinking as you're approaching this?
So I think there's a queue of traffic, so I'm staying in second. I'm checking my mirrors just to keep an eye on what's going on behind me.
Lovely.
And I'm just following at a nice, gentle speed. I don't want to stop, ideally, so I'm trying to go slow enough that I can just continue. Save fuel, save time.
And save you stopping and starting.
Saving stuff.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy.
Isn't that the most stressful thing about driving,
It
setting
really
off?
is.
Yeah.
Especially as a learner, if you just dip that clutch a bit, even if you're going 1 or 2 miles an hour, it's so much easier than having to stop, start.
And when you're on your test, the first 5 minutes and your foot's like,
Oh, you're shaking.
it's really hard to control the clutch.
Yeah.
Any tips for that? How have you got your heel? Is it planted into the floor?
My heel is planted so firmly on the floor, and
Yeah.
that stops. If it's not, then I'm going to vibrate. It's going to
You can see
vibrate
that there on the pedal cam, yeah.
Yeah, if it's up, car starts going all over the shop. No, yeah, I mean, this car's quite nice, to be honest, because the clutch isn't too high. My car has a really high clutch.
Does it?
So it can be quite difficult for...
Because it's it's a I can't say it.
Not for long.
I can't say
Peugeot
it.
208.
Oh dear.
We're changing it though. We're going to change it.
What are you thinking of getting next?
I'm thinking of Clubman.
Mini Clubman.
Yeah.
Love that car.
Yeah,
Really nice.
I would like to, but you have mentioned the Ford Focus as well, so I am going to double check that now.
That was my old car.
Was it? Yeah, I am.
And it's now with Emma at Oosh, and she's loving it too. Yeah, Oosh Driving School for all your driving lessons in the Northwest. Awesome guys over there.
But if I did get a Ford Focus, it'd have to be a nice, souped-up one.
Yeah,
Not-
like the
just
ST
like- yeah.
Ford Focus RS. Imagine getting lessons in a Ford Focus RS.
That'd be nice.
That noise that it makes, actually, on the first lesson in an RS, where you just tap the
Oh.
gas and you're like, whoa, that would probably not be the one, wouldn't it? On lessons, for your driving lessons, you're not going to get a massively good car. You're not going to have an instructor with a sports car because it's just not appropriate. So when you're thinking about your first car as well, you want to take that into consideration. Something that's got a massive engine is going to lead to accidents. It's going to encourage you to drive fast, which you might think you want, but actually you don't. And it's going to lead to big insurance premiums, which is not ideal either.
Huge insurance premiums. 1.2, you could be looking at least 2,000 if you're 17, 18. Anything bigger than that, and it's just scary money.
After 300 yards, go right on the roundabout.
What speed
and
would you
take the second
normally
exit.
go up into third gear?
In my car, about 30.
30 into
Yeah,
third?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Bloody hell.
Is it too late in your
Yeah,
car? is
yeah,
it?
about every 10. So 10 to second and 20 to third.
Okay.
Cool, let you deal with this roundabout. What are you thinking here?
Taking mirrors and signal
Great.
in the right
Go
lane.
right on the roundabout
That's a random
and
gas.
take the second exit.
They look like they're going right, but I'm not going to risk it because he's not signalling.
And you're on a driving test?
And I'm on a driving test, and if I hesitate, I might get a minor. If I pull out on someone, I hope that wasn't beeping at me.
No, the black car did something weird
It's
there.
okay.
There are bus lanes up north where you're from.
We do. And we
Yeah.
don't want to go in them because you end up getting fined, which isn't
What
great.
about this one? When's it in operation?
This one, to be honest, I'm not too
Missed
sure.
the sign.
100
Did I?
yards.
Damn it.
Go
Yes.
left on the
Oh.
roundabout.
I'm going to let
and
him go
take the
anyway.
first
Because it
exit.
looks a bit tight there and I don't want to scratch your car.
Okay, let's use the left lane for this because we're
okay.
turning left. So if you guys caught it, well done. That bus lane was in operation between 7 and 10 a.m. There's times on the sign says 7/10 a.m. So right now it's about 1 o'clock. We should have been in that bus lane, and we're going to give
Go
Joshua
left on the roundabout and take the first exit.
a driver fault for not using the bus lane. Why would it be inappropriate to drive in the right lane when there's a bus lane available?
You're stopping people from overtaking if they need to, and in this case, I actually need to turn left, so I was in the
Yeah.
wrong lane. Simple
Yeah.
as that. I'm going to put it down to the fact that that car beeped. You know, got
Threw
me a little
you
bit
right off,
nervous.
didn't it?
Threw me right up. I was all over the shop. Nerves all over the shop.
Exit. Then take the exit.
So, central mirror, left mirror, pop a left signal on. Oh, warning for horse and carriage. Got to
Nice.
keep an eye on those. And now I don't get those where I am.
800 yards. Take the exit, then keep right.
Nearly.
I've got
Nearly.
the Speedo in the bottom right corner for the guys at home.
Oh dear.
What speed did Joshua get up to there? Should I give him a fell for that? Do
No, I got it down quickly
Take
myself.
the exit,
Got it down quickly.
Then keep right.
you think an examiner would forgive that if you were on a driving test?
It was very, very quickly, so I like to think so. But if it was 37, normally you might.
Yeah.
They'd have to be really generous, really generous. Normally 36 is about the limit, I'd say.
So I did a video recently with Shannon where I took a mock test. I was in a 20 zone and I did 25 and she let me off. I think she was feeling generous, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I failed that, didn't I?
To be honest, I've had it a number of times where they passed. They
Yeah,
spent
same,
twice
a
doing
couple of
26,
times.
36. I don't know.
You have to be a really good driver
Yes.
for the examiner to let you off that. So if you've done an amazing drive but you tip over the speed limit, even by 5, 6 or 7, once, your examiner might let you off if they can see you've done an amazing drive and they just think, do you know what, why do I need to make this candidate come back for another driving test when they're actually really good at driving and just made a small mistake?
It also, I think, depends on how quickly you bring the speed back down. As I said, if they touch that, and then they bring it straight back down, and they've driven perfectly, then that situation, they've been aware, and I think that situation is when they think, okay, we'll give them benefit of the doubt with that one.
Yeah. Did you catch the speed here?
I'm talking about 50, isn't it?
Yeah, 50 here. What do you think this would feel like if you were on your driving test now? You see a 50 sign and you've got to do, you've got to do 50, otherwise you look like you're holding up traffic.
I know exactly how I feel.
Merging
because
onto a dual
I feel
carriage
like
rate.
it now, nervous as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a learner thing in front, bike in front, I've got a huge lorry behind me, Arctic lorry.
800 yards,
And
turn
yeah,
right.
I've been sitting in this lane quite happily without a problem. The sat nav saying turn right, which means I feel like I'm going to have to get out this lane in a second.
Might you want to wait though, because it might be a misleading instruction.
Yeah, it might be the sign saying you can be in this lane to go straight on, so I am going to just carry on.
Cool, yeah, nice.
How do you deal with misleading instructions? That's interesting because I get some of those on the sat nav.
On the TomTom system, it's just a feature of the TomTom where it says bear right. It's telling you
It's
to
a
bear right
nightmare.
now. So normally you'd move into the right lane because you're thinking you're going to turn right.
Yeah.
But how are you going to turn right on a dual carriageway like
You're
this?
not.
It's just telling you that we're not staying in the left lane to leave
Bear
at
right.
Tilbury.
I didn't need to get. We were talking about it, and I still changed
Still
lanes.
change lanes, yeah,
Even
because she
though
told
it-
you to
yeah,
3 times.
Yeah.
Stupid TomTom system.
Yeah. So
Well,
I'm going to go back into the normal driving lane.
Good shout.
Because there's no need to be in an overtaking lane. I'm not overtaking.
After 3
Do you think an examiner would give you a minor for that situation with the TomTom telling you to?
They wouldn't help you with it, but if you realised the mistake and brought it straight back to the left, we haven't been undertaken. That would
No.
be absolutely fine.
Yeah. If you are undertaken, would you say that is a minor fault or a serious fault?
I've had that before. Yeah, you fell for that.
Yeah.
If someone passes you on the left because you're in the overtaking lane,
Yeah.
you will fail your driving test.
I thought that as well. Just wanted to get your.
Which is why we always say as driving instructors, keep to the left lane, because you're not going to be driving as fast as everyone else.
No.
Even if you're doing the speed limit, there's other people that are in a hurry that might want to break the speed limit. So stay in the left lane and let them go past you on the right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speed limit's changed now. We've gone down to 40.
Bear left, then go around the roundabout and take the first exit.
Welcome to Barking. This is why I say it's the hardest place to pass a driving test. You have to be quite experienced to pass it, don't you think?
Absolutely.
To deal with what you've just dealt with,
Yeah.
and the TomTom on top
Yeah.
of it, everything else, icing on the cake, that really ridiculous instruction.
Yeah.
Super difficult.
Bear left.
Yeah, it's definitely
then go around the roundabout.
Not an easy
and
place
take
to
the
pass.
first
As I say,
exit.
I like to consider myself a good driver. On top of that, 10 years experience, driving instructor, and yeah, it's a challenge. You know, maybe it's just because I'm not from London as well. It doesn't help, but it's definitely a challenging area. That's a bus lane at any time. Okay, we won't go in there.
No thanks.
No, thank you. I'm leaving space in front. Tarmac and tyres. That means if an ambulance comes, we can get out of the way nice and easily. Oh, dear.
Clutch down. Cool. Whoops.
I'm going to put that down to being in a new car.
Yeah, definitely. Staying in second gear doesn't happen in your Peugeot.
Go around the roundabout
Okay, you got me.
and take the first exit.
Lovely. Really early there, moving into the left lane so that no one else comes to the left and takes the position off you.
Absolutely.
So that's where your planning ahead comes in, really. You know you're going to turn left in a minute. You need to move left as soon as possible after the bus lane.
After the bus lane. Don't go in the bus lane.
How does this compare to your test centre, which is Cobridge?
Newcastle.
Newcastle?
This is far more difficult, I'd say. But maybe that's because I'm not used to it. You know, maybe. But no, I think this is far more difficult.
Yeah.
Probably.
What are the roads like up where you're from?
Well, I think they're a bit clearer. One direction goes straight into suburbs, so that's lovely. Nice, not too bad, not too busy. The other end does go onto a dual carriageway, but it's only a 30 mile an hour that then goes into a 40 mile an hour.
Okay, not as hard as that dual carriageway.
No, not at all, not at all.
So the message is, if you want to pass your test, go to Crowbridge and Newcastle. Don't go to Barking.
Go to Newcastle under Lyme. Don't go to Barking. Yeah.
Is that the test centre name? Newcastle
Yes,
under Lyme.
Newcastle under
I
Lyme.
am there. See you next week
I'll see you there.
with all my pupils.
Turn right.
Most important thing you can do is communicate with that examiner. You know, you've got to remember they're people just
They're
like
just
me
people.
and you. They go home, watch TV exactly the same as we do. They're not something to put on a pedestal.
They don't
or
go
anything.
home and get plugged in, recharged for the next day, no?
No. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, they're just normal, and most examiners that I've come into contact with are really nice as well. They don't want you to fail. They don't want you to fail, they want to pass you. Imagine the kind of person you'd have to be to want to go into work and fail everybody on their driving test. They want you to pass. So as long as you're doing it safely, you can't fail. So right there, if you take that corner safely, you've not made a mistake. Whether it's correct or not, whether it's perfect or not, isn't the point. Was it safe? If the answer is yes, you're going to get a driving license. What would you recommend for someone who's getting a little bit anxious on their driving test? Do you do breathing techniques or?
Breathing techniques, definitely. Search up breathing techniques. Make sure you don't drink any coffee or any caffeine at all, and commentary driving is the most important thing you can do. Constantly looking ahead and going through a dialogue in your head, so you're not worried about what the examiner's touching on their iPad or trying to talk to them, or why aren't they talking to me. You're just thinking what's coming up next. You're not worried about the mistakes you make. You might think, oh my god, I forgot to signal.
Yeah.
But you're not worried
It's
about
fine.
that.
Not
It's
worried about it.
next. What's next? What's coming up round that
That's
corner?
it. Perfect. And if you do get nervous, and as driving instructors, we have to take driving tests too. We have to, like Ofsted at schools, we have to get checked all the time to make sure that we're not teaching you guys the wrong thing. So I hate driving tests too. I know exactly how you feel. When I'm on a driving test and I'm getting tested, breathe
After
in,
300 yards,
hold it,
turn left.
and breathe out really slowly. And as you breathe out, you'll feel that stress disappear from your body. If it's still, breathe in, hold it, and breathe out really slowly, and you will feel the stress disappear. That was a bit of an early signal.
It was a
wasn't it?
really
Yeah.
early signal.
Sat nav said turn left, and I was like, whoa, into the garage.
I was going to check the sat nav, it was like 330 yards. I was like, oh no. I thought, shall I leave it on? In the end,
Because he's waffling and won't notice. Joshua, can you pull up on the left in a safe place, please?
I can indeed. I'm going to go a bit further on because I don't. Oh, there's a spot just here in this space here. Controlled zone.
Brilliant. And we're not looking to get really close to the curb, are we? You are about half a metre, well, maybe a quarter of a metre away. That's perfect, isn't it? Don't try and
Absolutely.
park like everybody else. We
No.
don't need to be in the box either, right?
No, No, we're just pulling over. We're making sure that a car can get past here,
Yeah.
and I'm making sure I don't scratch your alloys.
Cheers, thank you.
And that's not just a joke as well. That's part of the reason why you're not. There's no point getting that close. You're going to rip your tyres.
Right. Keep a safety distance.
Yeah, and there's people. That's for people to walk on.
Yeah.
You don't want to risk hitting them. You're particularly nervous. Don't try and kiss the curb.
Yeah, use a drain. Put yourself the other side of a drain and you'll be fine. That's a safe distance.
Absolutely.
We're not parking for long. The examiner's just pulling you over to check how you pull over, is it safe, and how you pull away again, is it safe. So, Joshua, drive on when you're ready.
Perfect. And as you said there, the key there is it safe? If it's not safe, and you communicate that to the examiner, am I?
Yeah, it's off now.
Yeah.
Stupid handbrake.
Am I neutral?
It's telling you to go to neutral to chill out.
Oh, okay.
But if you're going to set off in.
It's choosing when it is safe. Nearly did it again.
Nice one, yeah, you got it.
Choosing when it's safe to do so. If you don't think it's safe, just communicate that with the examiner. Really important.
Turn right.
Turn right. Is this a right turn? Are we going to signal here?
No, I'm not gonna
we're just
signal.
following the road.
It's a continuous road. Isn't
Cheers,
it?
sat nav. You're trying to mess me up now. Yeah, these TomTom systems are complicated. Watch all of my other videos. You'll see loads of examples of when sat navs say the wrong thing. So if you haven't practiced with one, pull up on the left, please.
At the end of the road, turn left, then turn right.
If you haven't practiced with one, practice with one. You need to. It's really important. Okay, Joshua, this is your maneuver. I'd like you to move on from here and reverse park back into this position. Keep it reasonably close to the curb and don't finish more than 2 car lengths from the car in front.
Okay.
Happy with that?
So, parallel park.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the most important thing while you're doing your maneuver is observation. There's only 2 sections under my maneuvers sheet, and that is control and observation. So if you get in those 2 things right, you are going to pass your maneuver. You don't have to be perfect at parking. Sorry, that's for a second lift. I don't mind helping Joshua with that. If you're under control and you're observing correctly, there's nothing else that's
So I use a
tested
pizza
on
slice.
this maneuver. Brilliant, really nice. Under control, nice and smooth, great observation. Even if your parking doesn't go right and doesn't go to plan and you end up really far away from the curb, correct it, get closer. As long as you're observing correctly and your car's under control, that's all we're looking for right now. And that was perfect. Drive on when you're ready.
Thank you very much. Little cheeky roll there, didn't I? That would be a minor.
Would it?
Well, I would.
There's nothing behind. We're not,
True,
it wasn't far. You
true.
grab the brakes straight away. I reckon we'll be all right there.
I'll take that.
At the end of the
We've got a
road,
30
turn
road coming
left,
up.
then turn right.
That's another problem with
Turn left,
Driving in London.
then turn right.
speed limit changes all the time. So as soon as you turn from here, you're going to check that way and spot the bus lane sign, and
Yeah.
you're going to know, right, it's after 10, I'm going to drive in that one.
Sure.
So actually, because there's nothing in the bus lane on the right, could we set off now?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so, but would you say?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
As long as you don't swing out into the right lane, you can absolutely use the left lane if no one else is in it, because they haven't read the bus lane sign.
Okay. But you can't go in this bus lane. I'm just checking my blind
No,
spot.
that one's 7 till 10 as well.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
7
We
till
are
10.
turning right though, so that was the reason I'm using
There we go.
that.
Yeah, let's go with that one. Not into the cemetery. Next one. Is that a cemetery? No, it's a park.
Either way, you don't fancy the park.
Not today.
Okay.
I'll bring the dog next time. You got any pets?
I've got a German Shepherd called Jeff.
Jeff. Great name.
Jeff the German Shepherd.
Yeah.
And I've got
Awesome.
2 Jack Russells,
You got 3 dogs.
3 dogs,
Jesus.
2 cats.
You and your wife are nearly outnumbered by
Yeah.
animals.
3 chickens.
You've got chickens.
Yeah, I call
You're
them
so country.
Chicken dinner 1, 2 and 3.
Do you get eggs from them?
Yes. Yeah, well 2 are laying and 1's not, so he is chicken dinner, Sunday chicken dinner 1.
Gonna eat him.
Well,
Man, always wanted chickens, but living in London, there's just not really the space for it.
no, they're a pain.
And they
They're
get
a
eaten
pain.
by foxes. Have you got
Yes.
foxes where you're from?
Yes,
Okay.
but Jeff fancies himself a fox, so they tend to stay away.
They stay away from your garden.
Yeah.
Or they get eaten by the dog. Awesome. Okay, so if you're taking your test in Barking and you've done loads of practice here, you will notice now that you're coming back to the test centre. All of the area looks familiar, and you know, because you've done loads of practice with your instructor, that this is super close. What would you recommend if you notice that you're coming back to the test centre? Stay focused, stop thinking that you passed.
Absolutely.
Stop thinking about whether you failed or not.
Stop panicking, thinking, what time is it? Have I been the full 40 minutes?
Yeah.
Keep focused, because you can still fail just here, just as easily as anywhere else. If anything, you need to
After
focus
200
more.
yards,
Just make sure you get back safely
Definitely.
and in one piece.
Lots of people fail right at the end of their driving test unnecessarily because they stop concentrating. I had once a young girl that failed her driving test right at, just stop on the left, right at the end. Her examiner had asked her to pull up on the right. Because she wasn't concentrating, she was thinking about whether she passed or failed. She'll probably watch this. Whether she passed or failed, she didn't check her mirrors, she didn't signal at all. Then she just swerved to the right and there was a motorbike overtaking her. If she'd have checked her mirrors, she would have seen it. So it's a really common time to fail your driving test because you think you finished. I've finished now, excellent. But you haven't. You haven't finished until the examiner says switch your engine off. Nice, that'll do. Cheers. Handbrake in neutral, and I'll give you your exam results. Press. Yeah, stupid handbrake.
Beautiful.
How was that? How did you find it?
Beginning was very stressful. Definitely getting onto that dual carriageway. It was as you say, that was intense. That was really intense. That was, Francis. That was hard work. You know, cheeky squirrel there. I couldn't believe it. I don't know how learners do that. That's really hard work, that is, guys.
And the slip road's really small, isn't it?
The slip road is tough. As I say, really, that was a tough test route, that was, Francis. Yeah, I mean, trying to get onto that slip road.
Yeah.
And the change in speed limits. That bus lane, that was sneaky. You don't see those in Stoke, not
No,
like
really?
10 till 4. You've got bus lanes.
What times are they?
They're just bus lanes. They just don't go in the bus lane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a bus lane. Don't go in it.
Drive in it. Okay,
No,
interesting.
You can go on it from 10 till 4, but you can't go in it before or after.
Yeah.
They
Which
don't
is
do
really
that.
useful because people don't use bus lanes. Even in London where you can, they don't use them.
They're scared to death of going to get a fine.
Exactly. So you can skip loads of traffic if you know how to read the bus lane signs properly.
Yeah, that's taught me something, Francis. I've learned something.
Nice.
I'm impressed.
Every day's a school day.
Every day's a school
Well, if you don't
day.
have them where you're from, see, this could help other people too because if you're not from London and where you're from doesn't use bus lanes, you've never been taught it.
That's it, absolutely. You're not going to have a clue when you come to London that you can actually get in this lane.
Yeah.
But no, after that threw me a little bit. Obviously, I was in the wrong lane there, and then when you turn left onto the dual carriageway, bit of a vicious slip road that with the buses and
Really
whatnot.
strong.
Yeah.
At busy
Lorries.
times, it would be a bit more difficult to get onto as well. Yeah.
Definitely.
So practice that. It's a really good setup for when you pass your driving test so that you know how to use motorways. If your driving test centre doesn't have slip roads and dual carriageways that are set up like that, you would want to practice that because imagine your first set off onto a motorway is going to be pretty similar. You wouldn't want to do that on your own for the first time.
No.
Guys, would you give Joshua a fail for speeding or would you let him off that one because you're feeling super generous? Comment below. Let's debate it in the comments, shall we?
Let's debate it.
Yeah? I'll see you
Come
in
on,
the
guys.
comments.
Let me off.
It's up to you. If you want to give Joshua the pass, say pass in the comments. If you want to give Joshua the big thumbs down, let him know.
I'll be sad.
Thanks very much for coming down to visit.
Mate, absolute
It's
pleasure.
been
You better
a
come up.
pleasure. I will,
Yeah,
100%.
come
Yeah.
up.
Guys, thank you for watching. Joshua, thank you for coming down and visiting us. Check out his channel right here again, and it's in the description. See you in a bit. Bye. Oh, sick. Do you want to go and do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, in your car. Brilliant. Blah, blah, blah. It's
No, it was
totally
good, that
fine.
was Francis.
Oh.